Let me ask you a question. What do you think makes a woman fall in love? Is it the guy who's the nicest, the richest, or maybe the most handsome? I know, we've all heard this before, right? The perfect man is the one who checks all those boxes, good-looking, successful, charming. He's the one everyone is supposed to be after. But what if I told you that those things don't matter nearly as much as you think they do? What if I told you that the real reason women fall in love isn't about wealth, looks, or even personality? It's about how you make them feel. Sounds a little strange, doesn't it? But here's the truth. Women are drawn to how a man makes them feel emotionally. It's deeper than just appearances or status. It's about the connection you create with her, the anticipation you spark, the excitement you bring. When you make a woman feel something real, something deep, that's what keeps her interested. That's what makes her come back. And let's be clear, it's not about playing games or being manipulative. It's about understanding the emotional psychology behind attraction and creating a genuine magnetic connection. Now think about it for a second. If a woman feels that special connection, that emotional pull when she's around you, do you think she cares about whether your bank account is bigger than the next guy's? Or if your jawline is chiseled like some magazine cover? No, what she cares about is how you make her feel, how excited she gets when she sees you, how she feels when you make her laugh, how her heart races when you surprise her with something unexpected. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly why women are drawn to the feelings they experience with a man, not just his superficial traits. This is about the real psychology behind love, and once you understand it, you'll see how it can completely change your approach to relationships. But before we dive in, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. This is the stuff they don't teach you about attraction. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why some men get all the attention and others struggle. Let's get into it. Part 1, women don't love you, they love how you make them feel. Let me tell you something that might change everything you think you know about love. Women don't fall in love with you because of your looks, your wealth, or your personality directly. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, wait, really? Hear me out. Sure, these things might catch a woman's attention initially, but when it comes to lasting attraction, it's not about how much money you make or how perfect your jawline is. What women are really drawn to is how you make them feel. Think about it. What do you remember most about the people you're drawn to? It's not their resume, right? It's how they made you feel when you were around them. Maybe they made you laugh. Maybe they made you feel special. Maybe they created a sense of excitement and tension that you couldn't shake. Those emotional experiences are what stick with us. Women are no different. Here's the pattern. The emotional experience is what creates that emotional imprint that women carry with them. Emotional highs, the sense of mystery, the excitement, these are the things that make a woman remember you and want you. Women are attracted to men who can create that feeling of anticipation, that spark of excitement that makes her heart race. Let's make this more real with an example. Imagine a woman meets two men. The first guy, he's nice, he says all the right things, he plays it safe, he's the perfect gentleman, polite, predictable, maybe even a bit boring. Sure, she enjoys the conversation for a little while, but it doesn't go beyond that. She doesn't feel a deep emotional connection, and ultimately she doesn't remember much about him. Now, the second guy, he challenges her. He makes her laugh, keeps her on her toes, and brings a sense of excitement and mystery to the table. He might not be perfect, but he makes her feel alive. She's drawn to him. Why? Because of how he makes her feel emotionally. This is the emotional imprint that we talk about. And that's the powerful difference. The woman will likely be more drawn to the second man, not because he's flawless, but because he sparks something inside her. And that's what she'll remember. This is exactly why women often return to their exes. Not because the ex is somehow perfect, but because of how he made her feel emotionally. Even if the relationship ended badly, it wasn't necessarily him that she missed. It was the emotions he created. Now, why does this matter? Because once you understand this, you realize that the way you make someone feel is everything. Women aren't just looking for someone who meets a checklist of traits. They're looking for someone who makes them feel something real, something exciting. That's what keeps the attraction alive, not the surface level things we often think matter the most. Here's the kicker. If you want to captivate a woman, stop trying to impress her with superficial stuff like your wealth or your looks. Instead, focus on creating an emotional experience. Make her feel something exciting, something new, and keep her on her toes. If you can create emotional highs, mystery, and even a little tension, she'll remember you. You'll be the guy who made her feel alive, and that's the kind of attraction that sticks around. Let's break it down a little more. How can you make a woman feel emotionally engaged with you? It's not about being mysterious in a way that's manipulative or playing games. It's about engaging with her emotionally. Tease her a little, challenge her in a fun way, make her laugh, and don't always be predictable. Keep her guessing just enough so that the excitement stays alive. When you can tap into those emotions, you're giving her something to remember, something that keeps her coming back. This is why attraction isn't just about what you have. It's about how you make her feel. When you realize this, everything changes. You stop stressing over trying to be someone you think she wants, and instead, you focus on creating those real, memorable, emotional connections. And when you do that, trust me, she'll remember you for all the right reasons. Part 2, the more you chase, the less she feels. All right, let's dive into something that you've probably noticed, but might not have fully understood. The more you chase, the less she feels. It sounds a bit counterintuitive, right? We've all been told to go after what we want, to pursue the girl, to show her how much we care. But here's the truth. You may actually be killing the attraction by doing just that. Women at their core are wired for anticipation and tension. When they meet someone who creates emotional space, someone who isn't always available at their beck and call, that's what really drives desire. It's the chase, the mystery, the thrill of not knowing exactly when they'll see you next that fuels attraction. And the more you're there, constantly available, the more that tension fades. When you make yourself too available, you essentially kill the emotional spark that initially drew her in. Let me break this down with a simple example. Imagine you're texting a girl every single day, always making yourself available, asking her what she's doing, planning every weekend together, and never giving her a moment to miss you. In the beginning, it might seem fine, but soon the thrill starts to fade. She begins to expect your attention. The excitement of wondering when you'll text, when you'll reach out, disappears because you're always right there ready to give her what she wants. Without the emotional tension, the attraction diminishes. Now contrast that with the guy who isn't always available. He's got his own life, his own schedule. He's not chasing her, but when he does make time for her, it feels like a reward, like something to look forward to. He keeps the mystery alive. She has to wonder, what's he doing? When will I hear from him next? What's going on in his life? And that sense of mystery, that's powerful. That's what makes her crave more. Here's a key psychological insight. The best approach is to create mystery and scarcity. Think about it. Women value what they have to work for. If something is too easy to get, it loses its value. But if there's a little bit of uncertainty, a little bit of mystery, they become more invested. When a woman feels like she might lose something, whether it's your attention, your time, or your affection, she values it more. It's simple psychology. People always want what they think they can't have. So here's the challenge. Stop chasing. Stop being so available. Give her space. Create that sense of anticipation. Let her wonder about you. Let her feel the emotional tension that builds when she doesn't always know when she'll hear from you next. This doesn't mean you play games or act cold. It means you focus on living your own life, having your own experiences, and letting the connection grow naturally. Let her do some of the chasing and watch how much more drawn she becomes to you. Attraction is all about balance. Too much of anything, even affection or attention, can burn out the spark. But just the right amount of distance, the right balance of attention and mystery, keeps the flame alive. The chase doesn't end when you get the girl. It's part of what keeps the attraction alive long-term. In short, stop chasing her. Let her feel the anticipation. Let her wonder. Create mystery and scarcity, and watch how the dynamic of your relationship changes. When you don't make her feel like she's always going to get what she wants from you, she'll start to want it more, and that attraction will grow in ways that constant availability never could. Part 3, women don't want a nice guy, they want an unshakable man. Let's face it, women don't want a nice guy, at least not in the way you might think. We've all heard that phrase, right? Nice guys finish last. And while there's some truth to that, it's not because being nice is a bad thing. The problem comes when being nice turns into people-pleasing, when a man's entire sense of self-worth depends on making others happy and avoiding conflict at all costs. Here's the truth. Women are not attracted to men who are constantly seeking approval, who always say yes, and who are emotionally weak. Yes, you heard me right. Women are drawn to emotional strength, men who are unshakable, who stand firm under pressure, and who don't need constant validation to feel good about themselves. Think about it for a second. A nice guy will always say yes to everything, will avoid conflict even when it's necessary, and will bend over backward to keep the peace. And while that might make him likable on the surface, it doesn't create the deep attraction that women crave. What women are really looking for is strength and resilience. Take the example of Tom, a nice guy who was always trying to make sure everyone around him was happy. At work, he would agree to every task, never say no to a request, and avoid stepping on anyone's toes, hoping it would make him liked. But when things got tough, when big decisions needed to be made, or when a difficult situation came up, Tom would panic, second-guess himself, and struggle to stay calm. His inability to make decisions and assert himself made him seem weak and unreliable. Women see this, and while they might appreciate his kindness, they won't feel attracted to him in a deeper sense. In contrast, think about a man who's emotionally strong, who remains calm in tough situations, and who doesn't need constant validation to feel like he's doing okay. That's the guy women are drawn to. He can make decisions under pressure, handle challenges with resilience, and stay emotionally stable no matter what life throws his way. This isn't about being cold or detached. It's about emotional control. Women find this strength irresistible because it gives them security, value, and confidence in the relationship. Now you might be wondering, but what about being kind? What about showing care and attention? Absolutely, kindness is important, but it needs to be balanced with strength. Women aren't looking for someone who is constantly trying to please them at the expense of his own well-being. What they're really craving is a man who can lead with emotional stability, who doesn't let life's challenges or their own emotions dictate their actions. Strength is magnetic. Stoicism has a lot to say about this. The Stoics believe that true strength comes from emotional resilience and self-control. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, taught that the calmness and composure we have in chaotic situations is what defines us. When a man remains calm under pressure and is able to handle stressful situations without losing his cool, that is true emotional strength. Here's the bottom line. The most attractive men, according to Stoicism, are those who are calm in chaos. They don't let their emotions control them. They remain steady in the face of challenges, and they don't need constant validation from others to feel secure. This kind of strength builds attraction. Women are drawn to it because it represents security and trust. When a man is emotionally stable and unshakable, it gives women the confidence that he can handle anything life throws their way. So if you want to truly attract women, focus on developing emotional strength. Stop seeking constant approval. Stop avoiding conflict, and start standing firm in your beliefs and actions. This doesn't mean being cold or insensitive. It means being emotionally resilient, remaining calm, making decisions with confidence, and not letting the chaos around you affect your inner peace. This is what makes a man truly irresistible. It's not just about being nice, it's about being unshakable. Part 4, love is a game of perception, not reality. Now here's something that may completely flip your understanding of attraction. Love is more about perception than reality. Yes, you heard that right. The way a woman sees you, how she perceives you, is often more important than who you truly are. It's not about your job title, how much money you have, or even what you look like. It's about the story she creates about you in her mind. And guess what? that story isn't always accurate. It's shaped by her emotions, desires, and even her insecurities. Think about it. Women are not always falling in love with the real you. They're falling in love with the story they've built around you. And that story is influenced by how you make them feel emotionally. That's why two women can meet the same man and one might fall for him deeply, while the other might not feel anything at all. The difference lies in how they perceive him and the emotions he stirs up. Here's the pattern you need to understand. Women fall in love with the image they create of a man, not necessarily the reality. This image is often a mix of their own fantasies, desires, and past experiences. It's not about the real you, but rather about the feelings and emotions you trigger in her. Let's look at a practical example to break this down. Imagine a man who initially seems mysterious and exciting. He doesn't reveal everything about himself right away. He's a bit unpredictable, and there's always a sense of what's next. This mystery builds intrigue and emotional tension, and naturally she's drawn to him. But what happens when he becomes predictable? When he starts opening up too much, showing his cards, and acting in ways that she can easily guess? That mystery fades, and with it, the attraction starts to lose its edge. What was once exciting now feels boring. The thrill of anticipation is gone. Her perception of him shifts, and instead of feeling intrigued, she starts feeling indifferent. This is the real power of perception and attraction. The way she feels about you shapes her opinion, not the facts of who you really are. If she feels that emotional excitement and mystery, her attraction for you will skyrocket. But if she starts feeling like she knows everything about you, like she can predict your every move, the attraction starts to fade. Here's the psychological insight that ties it all together. Perception is everything. If you want to keep her interested, you can't let her predict your every action. Keep a little mystery alive. Keep her wondering what you'll do next, what's coming next in the relationship. The more predictable you become, the more you risk slipping into emotional boredom. She might still like you, but she won't crave you. And in the world of attraction, craving is the key. The most successful relationships aren't built on stability alone. They're built on that balance of emotional tension. You don't have to be mysterious all the time, but you need to give her space to be curious about you. Give her moments of surprise, of anticipation, where she can't predict what you'll do next. This keeps the relationship exciting, keeps the attraction strong, and keeps her emotionally engaged. Think about the most successful relationships you know. There's always a sense of mystery and challenge. Even after years together, there's a sense that the other person still has things to discover. They never stop being intrigued by each other. So if you're finding that things are getting boring in your relationships, it's time to ask yourself, have you become too predictable? Have you stopped creating that emotional tension? If so, don't panic. Just spice things up. Be a little unpredictable. Don't always be so available. And don't let her know your next move. Make her feel that emotional tension again. That's how you keep her craving your attention and drawn to you. Part 5, if she feels safe, she'll never leave. Let me ask you, what does emotional safety really mean in a relationship? It's more than just being there for someone physically. It's about creating a space where she feels emotionally protected, where she can trust you with her feelings and know you'll stay steady no matter what. And here's the truth. Emotional safety is the cornerstone of a woman's commitment. When a woman feels emotionally safe with a man, she knows she can trust him, that he won't shatter her peace or leave her feeling insecure. And that is what keeps her coming back. We've all heard the saying, women want someone who makes them feel safe. But what does that really mean in practice? It means that a woman stays with a man who can offer emotional stability. She's looking for someone who can be calm in the chaos, who doesn't get swept away by every little emotional storm that comes their way. If a man is emotionally unpredictable, she starts to feel insecure. She won't know what to expect from him. One moment he's happy and open, the next he's distant or angry. That unpredictability makes her feel like she's walking on eggshells, unsure if she can rely on him. But a man who is emotionally consistent, calm, and able to handle both his own emotions and external pressures, that's the kind of man who builds security in a relationship. When he stays grounded, when he manages challenges with a clear head, that's when she feels like she's in safe hands. It's not about always having the right words or always being perfect. It's about having that emotional resilience that makes her feel that no matter what life throws at them, he'll be steady and she can count on him. Take Sarah's story, for example. Sarah was in a relationship with a man who was emotionally steady. He wasn't perfect, but when things got tough, he didn't lose his temper or shut down. He remained calm and open, ready to talk through things and solve problems together. Sarah started to feel that emotional safety in the relationship. She knew that when things got hard, he wouldn't bail or react impulsively. He was someone she could rely on, and this emotional consistency made her feel valued, respected, and secure. She didn't need constant reassurance because she knew deep down he had her back. Now, why is this so important? Emotional consistency is one of the most attractive qualities a man can have. Women are wired to crave that sense of security, that stability that says, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere, and you can trust me. And that's why emotional instability, where moods swing, where there's no consistency, can lead to emotional burnout. It makes a woman feel like she's walking through a relationship in a fog, never knowing what's coming next. Stoic principles really shine here. The Stoics believed in emotional control, not suppressing emotions, but managing them in a way that brings balance and clarity to life. Stoicism teaches that true strength lies in emotional consistency. It's not about avoiding emotions, but about mastering them. By staying grounded and calm, a Stoic man creates an emotional presence that makes others, especially a woman, feel safe, valued, and connected. This emotional stability allows the woman to let her guard down, to be vulnerable and to open her heart. She knows she can trust you, not only because you're there physically, but because you're emotionally reliable. You're not prone to mood swings or overreactions. Instead, you respond thoughtfully and calmly. When she feels safe, she's not only drawn to you more, she's also committed to building something real with you. So what does this mean for you? Start focusing on emotional consistency. Show up as the steady presence in the relationship. Don't let your emotions control you. And when challenges arise, be the one who stays calm and level-headed. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means being aware of them, managing them, and showing her that you're someone who can be trusted to remain grounded. The more you practice emotional control, the more you'll create a secure foundation for your relationship. Here's the takeaway. Women are attracted to men who make them feel emotionally safe. When you can provide that sense of security, consistency, and emotional strength, you become someone they can't easily walk away from. Because true strength isn't about being tough or unfeeling. It's about remaining calm and emotionally steady in a world full of uncertainty. And when you do that, you'll have something far more powerful than temporary attraction. You'll build a lasting, meaningful connection. Conclusion. All right, let's wrap this up with something powerful. Understanding the psychology behind attraction, especially how women feel emotionally, is the key to building meaningful, lasting relationships. It's not about constantly chasing, showing off, or trying to impress her with things that don't matter in the long run. Instead, it's about embracing emotional intelligence, having the strength to stay grounded, and knowing how to create those emotional highs and moments of security that women crave. Women are not looking for someone who constantly seeks their approval. They don't want someone who's just trying to please them at every turn. What they want at their core is someone who can provide emotional depth, stability, and yes, a little bit of mystery. That's what makes someone magnetic. Not just being nice, but being emotionally strong, intriguing, and emotionally available in a way that creates connection. This Stoic approach to relationships, where emotional control and self-awareness are the foundation, helps build a lasting, deep attraction that isn't just about physical appearances or surface-level traits. The real key to lasting love and deep attraction lies in this emotional balance. It's the emotional highs that keep things exciting and the emotional security that creates trust. When you master these elements, the mystery, the emotional consistency, and the ability to show strength in hard moments, you'll notice a change in the relationships you build. So now that you've got a better understanding of how women feel emotionally and how attraction really works, I want you to think about your own relationships. Which of these insights can you apply to your life? Have you noticed moments where emotional depth or stability made a difference? Or maybe you've been chasing approval or playing it safe. How can you change that to build a stronger, deeper connection? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let me know what resonates with you, or share any experiences you've had in relationships that tie into these ideas. Your experiences could really help others as well. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more content on understanding human psychology, relationships, and Stoic philosophy. Personal growth is a journey, and we're all in this together. Let's continue to learn and grow, step by step, toward becoming the best versions of ourselves. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.